Hey guys, we've been getting lots of questions about how sensory processing disorder actually shows up in our scans. So I'd like to be able to go through these scans with you. But before we do, just talk a second about sensory processing because we've heard it a lot. We've heard of, these fidget spinners and sensory processing toys, sensory toys, things like that. And so at the base of sensory processing disorder, the one thing that you need to know is that it comes from a nervous system that is unable to adapt, right? So we've heard about neuroplasticity. We've heard about how the nervous system can change. But what we see at the base of almost every single sensory processing disorder is a nervous system that is stuck, that has been overloaded and cannot get through certain challenges. And so what happens, right, when we talk about sensory, like what is sensory? Sensory are the things that we can perceive, right, through our eyes, through our ears, taste, touch, smell, sight, all those things, right? And so with a child with sensory processing disorder, the processing of that sensory information is not correct. It's too high, right? It's too much. They get overloaded because their nervous system's already stuck, right? And then a normal stimulus comes in, they're not able to process it. And now what we perceive as a result of that is a heightened response, right? So we see things like meltdowns and tantrums and bad behavior. And sometimes there can be really high tone, right? Kids can be really high. They can be arching their back. They can be toe walking, right? These are all certain things. They can always be chewing on their shirts and frantic. So they can be super high tone. And then if that stays there for a long time, right, it can actually switch to too low of tone. So a lot of times with low tone, we see lack of coordination. We see big postural shifts. We see weak core, things like that. And so it's important to know how to actually measure that, because I said at the beginning is that, in truth, we're not measuring sensory processing disorder, right? Because all that is a label. But we are measuring the nervous system, right? And so what we want this white dot to be in the green zone. Now, when the white dot is in the green zone, it shows that the nervous system has enough reserves available to be able to process the stress or to be able to process the environment around. And so you can see in this scan, for instance, this girl, she was 4 years old, really didn't listen at all, just no perception of any sort of instruction, like following directions, anything like that, toe walking, and just behavior going up and down, mood going up and down, right? We could just see that she did not have the reserves available to be able to process that, right? And over care, actually, this white dot is increased. She's inside the green zone, and she's actually doing amazing. All right. So at the end of the day, what sensory processing disorder is, what we have to look at is the nervous system. All right. So if you're watching this video, if it's for you, if it's for your kiddo or somebody that that is dealing with sensory processing disorder, and you want to get to the root of why they haven't healed on their own, like, comment, subscribe, all those things, and schedule an appointment for your little one.